From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10, powered by Kentaro, Berger Paints, Nourish and Kurlon Mattress.
Welcome back, and now after a great debate one, and as we wait for Nawab Malik's hydrogen bomb tomorrow morning, it's time for debate two, and I hope you're ready. Last night at 9, we debated the real Rafale scam that has left many in the Lutyens media embarrassed, not knowing what to do now that they are forced to report it because Republic has put out all the facts as they unwillingly try to play catch up and politics takes over. This story exposes really how our national security has been compromised. Let's debate.
The real Rafale scam is exploding. A day after Mediapart expose on one of the biggest Defence Commission story.
What we disclosed is proof that secret commissions have been paid by Dassault to this middleman, Mr. Sushen Gupta. But I don't have evidence about what he did with this money. All that we have is a note which is dated September 2012, where Mr. Gupta writes that people sitting in office are asking for money. But I'm afraid I don't know who these people are. All that we can say is that when you are a big defense group and that you are paying a middleman, what you hope in exchange that this middleman will help you win the contract.
The BJP has raised the issue and put the focus on 40% commissions angle.
There was an agreement on commission, and you would be astonished if you go through the contents of agreement of commission. Commission is payable at the rate of 40% of the total contract value between IDS and Dassault Aviation. The commission is consideration thereof. The commission is payable after the delivery of the product by IDS and the receipt of the consideration thereof.
The invoices shown by Mediapart have indicated routing of kickbacks through shell firms abroad, clearly deflating Rahul's Chaukidar Chor Hai slogan.
भाई और बहनों, देखिए पहले नारा हुआ करता था अच्छे दिन आएंगे, याद है आपको? अब नया नारा सुनिए, चौकीदार। तो ये कैसे हो रहा है? कहीं भी आप जाके कह दीजिए चौकीदार, 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 तो ये कहां से बात चली?
But the Congress is refusing to relent.
We have been demanding a JPC. We want an independent inquiry. CBI can't investigate itself. ED can't investigate itself. Why have they been quiet? Why not take action against Sushen Gupta after knowing that internal, highly confidential documents dated under this government were leaked by Sushen Gupta?
But the bigger issue is that of national security. How the UPA government delayed the much-needed Rafale deal by delaying the negotiations. Was it because of commissions?
10 वर्षों तक इस पूरे विषय को पेंडिंग रखा गया. 10 वर्षों तक there were negotiations and negotiations and negotiations, and there was no conclusion of negotiation. And now we come to know that there was no conclusion of negotiation because the negotiation was not about aircraft. The negotiation was about commission.
So what is the full truth of the Rafale scam and kickbacks? Is it time for a full investigation now? Let's debate.
Fuad Halim, Pankaj Sharma, DK Giri and Vikraman on one side, Pathigret Pine, Savio Rodriguez, Avijita Ayer Mitra, Smita Prakash and Aparajita Sarangi of the BJP on the other side. We'll try something unique today, Fuad, and that is that we'll try and answer the question, and that's going to be very interesting for all our viewers, because it doesn't happen very often. So in this, the only thing you have to do, Fuad, is that when I ask the question, you have to answer it. Okay? So, what the BJP has not done since 2018 is a matter which I will pick up as a question later. So, just to preempt, I want you to answer the question. The question is that between 2006 and 2012, can you tell me, 2005, 2012, when did the left leave the UPA government after the Volker issue? Which year was that? Which year was that? 2005? 6? Around that period? Which means, Fuad, that all this commission system was still carrying on. You were a little bit in the government, you had moved out. There was a well-oiled mechanism to get commissions in place. There were demands made of 40% commission. Did you have any idea what was going on at that time? Since you picked up Rafale so enthusiastically, and I'm sure you feel enthusiastic about it now, right? What is your comment on the transfer of 7.5 million euros, bogus receipts, Mauritius companies to Sushen Gupta when the Congress was in power, partially through your support?
Well, the French government has appointed a French judge to investigate the matter, as far as I know, was the 14th of June 2021. So the Rafale deal is already under investigation for kickbacks and for corruption issues. If you recall, on the 14th of December 2018, the Chief Justice of India at that time and now Rajya Sabha MP on behalf of the BJP, Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, had given a clean chit to the BJP government on corruption issues involving the Rafale deal. So I think so it's high time at this point of where India is, that if the BJP and the central government is convinced that a neutral investigation has to be called for, then a joint parliamentary committee should immediately be formed to investigate all aspects of this deal. And if the BJP has some misgivings on this issue,
and a follow-up to that question, are you of the view that in that joint parliamentary committee which you mentioned, the Congress party in whose tenure the bribes were paid, should be part of that joint parliamentary committee?
Arnab, please go through the report that the French portal has put up. If you want to take evidence selectively, then in that case, I think so any investigation will be futile.
Sorry.
Take the evidence.
So why do you get defensive when I mention the Congress? I'm saying that media part. One second. I'm making a point.
I am seeing this as an opportunity where a JPC should be formed.
Okay, so tell me one thing.
I fully agree with you that an investigation should be instituted as soon as possible by the government.
Correct.
I think so. This is the opportune moment.
Opening up the debate.
Where the Bharatiya Janata Party should seize.
Opening up the debate. Thank you.
Actually call for an all-out investigation into the Rafale deal.
Opening this up. Thank you. Fuad, thank you for your opening remarks. I think it's a wonderful suggestion, viewers. I would in fact say not just is it wonderful, it also happens to be very intriguing. What Fuad is suggesting, Aparajita, is, and don't mind my saying this, that if tomorrow, right, you were to carry out an act of theft, Fuad's suggestion would be that if I find out that you were the person who carried out the act of theft, then 10 years later, you should be made part of a committee to investigate yourself.
No, Arnab, you have not found out.
No, but that's what you mentioned when you mentioned the JPC. You said the Congress will be part of the JPC.
That you have found out. You have not found out.
Why are you getting defensive about the
Are you in favor of an investigation?
Sorry.
No.
But you said the JPC, including the Congress.
Are you in favor of an investigation, or are you trying to run away from facts that will be unearthed by the investigation?
I'm sitting
Why are
right
you
here.
defensive?
I'm sitting
Why
here.
are you so defensive
I'm
about
sitting
an
here.
investigation into the matter?
I'm sitting here and I'm saying.
Why are you running away? Call for an investigation.
I'm sitting here. I'm not running away. When I do run away, I can tell you I run pretty fast and you won't be able to catch up with me.
Can you make an appeal for an investigation?
I'm telling you one thing.
Arnab, do you think so? An investigation is essential.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now tell me.
Thank you. So who is going to call for the investigation? Is the BJP going to call for the investigation?
No. You short on facts. Can I get someone else in also?
Where it itself is the accused?
One second. Just 1 minute.
Well, the BJP itself is the accused.
You know, can I, Fuad, I don't understand whether I'm hearing your echo or you're continuing. Question is, how can there not be an investigation? How can there not be an investigation into the alleged corruption involving middlemen when the deal involves the acquisition of aircraft for the Indian Air Force? An act which has direct consequences on India's national security. The question is...
Supreme Court's Chief Justice...
Question is, all right, now there are 7 unhappy people on the panel. There are 7 unhappy people on the panel who have not been given a single chance to speak and who believe that you and I have entered into a collaboration to ignore them. Aparajita, what happened to the investigation? What have you done? You had all the evidence since 2018. You're not telling me, what did your government do? What have you done?
A very good evening.
And I also want to tell you that Sambit Patra, nice person, no problem, quite amusing, quite funny sometimes, very witty. He has said in 2014 at 4:47 p.m. on April 28, 2014, thick of the election campaign, on the eve of Narendra Modi becoming Prime Minister, he says, as a rat, I will gnaw into the respected Damaj Shri today on so-and-so channel. My rat friends, please watch. Now, I'm not a rat, but he said that he will eat into Damaj Shri. Damaj Shri being a colloquial reference to Robert Vadra. What happened? You promised so much. What did you do? The Mauritius government gave you the papers in the case in 2018. You still haven't done anything. Now, when we ask you, you'll say, we are doing. But when? After the next election? National security has been compromised. You don't need us to push you or cajole you, Aparajita.
A very good evening, Arnab. It's very interesting to hear you. And the other friend on the panel who was speaking just before we did. Those who live in glass houses should not throw stones at others. I think the Congress and other opposition parties must remember this. See, Mediapart is not an Indian media agency, it's a French media agency. And they have come out with certain issues, certain facts, and they have actually brought us into this whole debate, right? Now, before 2019 general election, I remember all the opposition parties led by the Congress had created an uproar in the country on Rafale deal. And they wanted to attract the voters and they wanted to garner votes. And they drew flack from all the voters of the country. And you know what happened? Prime Minister Modi came with a thumping majority. This Rafale thing did not cut ice. Now today again, when we have so many achievements to our credit, this is not the time to talk about those. This is not the time to enlist those. No. I think they want to talk about these. Now the fact is...
No, but Aparajita, you say did not cut ice. I agree with you. 1 minute, just 1 minute. Sorry to intervene. DK wants to come in, but DK, it's my turn. It's my turn. 1 minute. Yeah. She says... Please. It's the Chaukidar Chor hai, the allegations on Prime Minister Modi did not cut ice. I agree. I said so myself yesterday. However, question being, did corruption happen? It did. Are you admitting that corruption happened? You do. Did that part of the media story cut ice with you? It did. Do you believe that 40% commissions were paid? You do. What action did you know? I don't know. Your party spokesperson Sambit Patra says what MF Hussain was to the world of painting, Congress today for sure is to the world of corruption. In that case, do you want the world's biggest art gallery? What are you doing? What you promised, if someone else was corrupt on Rafale, DK, I want to know, what did the BJP government do? You have been in power for 7.5 years. You have to stop pointing the finger at others, but taking action. You can't after 7.5 years say they were corrupt. We proved to you they were corrupt. They were taking the commission. But what did you do? Who did you send in? Which politician was involved? Which politician has been jailed for corruption? Tell me, Aparajita, I'm getting restless. We're all getting restless.
Yes,
DK, isn't that the moot point? That's the moot point.
Let me complete.
No. You are using corruption and acts of corruption as a political lever.
No, but Aparajita Sarangi, I'll tell you, Aparajita Sarangi is a new entrant into politics. She spent all her time in bureaucracy. She spent all her time in bureaucracy. She does not know what matters in elections. Rafale deal is not
Friend,
an election
I
issue.
have contested the Lok Sabha election.
People are not
and
bothered
I
about
am
Rafale
the
deal. You have been a
sitting
bureaucrat.
MP
You have just
from
entered politics,
I know what is
Aparajita.
electoral
You do not know how
politics.
people vote.
I know
Let
what
me
is
tell you.
electoral politics.
Yes,
I've
you do not
contested
know.
and
You
I've
have
won.
spent all your
You are
time.
talking
You
to
are
a person
parachuted
who is
into
a sitting
politics.
MP in the Lok
You are
Sabha.
parachuted into politics. No,
Please
don't worry.
listen to me.
You have, don't
I
worry,
am saying
Aparajita, I have
at
to
this
tell you,
juncture,
electoral
Congress
issues are different. Rafale
stands
deal
for
does not matter to
confusion,
people
chaos, and
on the
INC
street, in
stands
the
for
villages.
I
They
need
don't even know
commission.
what is Rafale.
Oh, he
Yes,
says
but
Rafale does not matter to people. 1 minute,
Yes, but
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, a minute, please, a minute, please, a minute, please.
Yeah.
First of all, may I say this,
yes,
Professor
Rafale
DK
deal
Giri,
was
Professor
managed by
DK
both
Giri,
governments.
Professor DK Giri, I tell you one thing. I think it's a good thing that qualified, educated, competent professionals enter politics. And if you don't mind my saying it, I think you're being unnecessarily patronizing to someone who has won a Lok Sabha election, saying you've just entered politics. Please don't tell me that people who spend 40 years in politics are necessarily the cleanest and the best.
Absolutely.
So please, let's not go there. No, let's not go there.
You have to be
And
with
you
the
say,
people.
no,
You
and
cannot
you
spend
say,
your time in file and furniture.
no, and you say
suddenly
today,
claim to be a politician.
1 minute, 1 minute. You
I
want
don't buy that.
DK. You're the person, you and PLY, people like you, right? People like you were leading the charge saying the only thing that matters in the country is Rafale. Today, Smita, the moment Rafale turns around and the question is on the UPA regime,
I didn't say
DK
that.
Giri comes and says Rafale does not matter anymore. Why? Why, Smita?
No, it does not.
Something's
Because
beginning
you
to-
cannot justify Rafale by winning an election.
So-
I am telling you, Rafale was dealt by both the government or not. Congress as well as BJP. There has to be an investigation to find out.
Yeah,
who
but
was involved in the
who
corruption.
got $7.5
Both
million
Congress and BJP.
dollars? Yeah,
It was managed by
euros.
both
Who got
governments.
7.5 million
Yeah.
euros? Who got that?
So
Who got that?
we should find out.
So that's what I'm
Both
saying.
the governments have put their hands in
Smita.
Rafale deal. It was started by Congress, finished by BJP. The deal was clinched by BJP in the end.
No, that was a government-to-government deal. You're wrong. Anyway, Smita.
You see, so electoral. No. Absolutely, no. Yeah, fair enough.
It was a completely, it was not a deal which was started by somebody and clinched. It was a completely new deal. I think you need to read up a little bit, sir. Respectfully, I might say that it was a completely new deal. It took 20 long years. Something that was started, it had to be absolutely shelved and a new deal had to be signed. Arnab, I agree with you that, it's kind of
if it is a new deal,
frustrating
Smita,
that when this
where is the
government came to
corruption?
power, it was
If
all
it is a new
2G,
deal, why do
Damaji,
you go to
CWG, and think
2012? You are contradicting yourself. You are contradicting
may I
yourself,
speak?
Smita. If it is a new deal, why
Sir,
do
may
you
I
bring in
speak? It was a
2012?
completely new deal. It was
2012.
not-
You said that I should read up. I should
Yeah,
read
she
up.
said.
It's a new deal. Don't mention 2012. Why do you mention 2012?
I did not say don't mention. I'm
advising
nobody
me to
to
read
tell
up,
you
so
what
I'm
to
telling
mention
you
and not to
this
mention
deal.
when you speak. What I'm trying to say to you is that it
No,
was
you
not
said I
a
should read up.
continuation
You are
of the
being
old
patronizing.
deal. The
So I'm
old
telling
deal
you-
fell through. It did not succeed. Saint Anthony, who was the defense minister, he just completely shelved it. He used his veto power, and that was it. Dassault deal was shelved, and then came the Modi government, and a new deal was signed, government to government contract. The old deal had gone away, so it was not a continuation of the deal.
So
as far as this portal is concerned, they have turned around and said that Mr. Gupta was paid.
Of the same
Sir,
business.
please let me complete. There is no point shouting at me, right? I am neither Mr. Gupta nor I am the CEO of Dassault. I am just trying to tell you that there were two different deals, but seems to be that there is one middleman who has been paid. Now, who he paid off Aage? Who did he give that money to? Did he give the money to the UPA? Did he give the money to the NDA? Who did he give the money to? Clearly, in the letters which have come across, he seems to have said that he has to pay off somebody who was in the UPA regime.
Yeah.
Now, are those documents real or not? In that, I agree with all of you, saying that yes, an investigation has to be done. Like Arnab said, that this government came to power in 2014 with the deal that it is going to bring those people to book.
Yeah.
Those who were 2G, 3G,
And the question
CWG,
is
Damaji,
about-
all these people will be put behind bars, behind
No, no.
bars. Have they
Smita-
gone behind bars or not?
No,
They
Smita
have.
also,
They are roaming around in car market.
Smita also, logic being, and Vikraman, see, I'll tell you one thing, there is, one minute, Vikraman, in a particular newspaper, right, who's, one of those senior editorial people got personally involved in the Rafale case. Tell me, is there an 8-column headline today? Congress caught red-handed in Rafale deal. Have you got? You must have read the paper. I'm sure you read it every morning. Actually, people don't read newspapers nowadays. I forgot. But in any case, have you seen an 8-column headline? Congress caught red-handed. Have you seen it, Vikraman? I'm just curious. Have you seen it? You know which paper I'm talking about? You don't know. Or even you don't read newspapers.
Why don't you say it? Why are you afraid to say it?
Afraid? No, I'm just asking you. I don't read newspapers. I'm a new age guy.
People for that.
No, I'm a new age guy. I don't read newspapers. But do you see an 8-column headline? See, the problem is, Vikraman, the point I'm trying to tell you, if you have an open mind, I'll tell you this. You've got to understand. You try to twist Rafale into a political case, right? Now the evidence is there. I really think the BJP should tell us who Sushen Gupta was paying the money to, and the BJP and the CBI should be really pushing that case hard. But for God's sake, Vikraman, people like you, PLY, you made Rafale into an issue. Now you don't know where to look. You don't know where to look. You will discuss everything. Every other important issue, froth on the river Yamuna, the problem of mosquitoes in the national capital, not unimportant issues. But you will not discuss this. Why, Vikraman? Why? Why don't you want to discuss Rafale now? I say discuss Rafale now. Pakistan got a whole fleet of F-16s by 2014, before Narendra Modi became Prime Minister. India didn't get the Rafale. Why, Vikraman? Why? Tweet tonight. You tweet. Tweet tonight. Because somebody in the UPA era wanted a 40% commission. Somebody in the UPA era wanted a 40% commission. Somebody in the Congress era wanted a 40% commission. For God's sake, Pakistan got the F-16s, and national security was compromised. Come on, Vikraman, tweet now in bold letters. Tweet in bold. Tweet in bold. My country's national security was compromised. Tweet in bold and underline it, and in all caps. My country's security was compromised. Tweet it. Come on, draft the tweet now. That's the tweet. Say my country's security was compromised by people who wanted 40%.
Our country's security was compromised when Pegasus was installed.
There you go. He's avoiding it. He avoids it. See, Abhijit, he avoids it.
Pegasus was installed. French intelligence agency
Pegasus comes in.
to it.
What is Pegasus
There was
have to
this
do with this?
NSO which was selling
Pegasus comes in when you ask a question on Rafale.
I don't understand
You did not
your
agree
logic.
to it.
Abhijit, what's going on, Abhijit?
If it was the government
You were saying it was a
tapping them,
foreign
then how was
reporters.
national security
I do not
compromised?
believe in those reporters.
I find
Now you
everybody,
believe one French reporter. Okay,
everybody,
fine, you can believe it, but I have one
Abhijit,
question
everybody
here.
who swore by Rafale is having nightmares about it. I wonder why.
That is absolutely true. Because look, let us be clear about one thing. How successful the Congress has been from diverting away from the fact that the Congress has been caught red-handed having accepted bribes, number one. Second, if you notice, the BJP is also uncomfortable talking about it because they don't want to send their prime campaigners to jail.
Open up the lines.
Let us be absolutely clear, Arnab. Rahul Gandhi is the prime campaigner of the BJP. The BJP has never had a better candidate, a better person who has not been president of the BJP who has brought in more votes than Rahul Gandhi. I can honestly tell you, Amit Shah and Narendra Modi wake up every morning and they do Mahachandi Homam 1,000 times for Rahul Gandhi's continued presidency of the Congress party. Because honestly, Modi could only take the BJP from being a 120, 130 party to a 200 party. It is only Rahul Gandhi that has made the BJP an absolute majority party, and I guarantee you, if
are you saying I want Aparajita. Are you not acting in this case because you don't want to touch the Vadra Gandhi family or the misdeeds of the Congress, that you think it's prehistory right now, medieval history, prehistoric? Do you think it's not necessary to look into it? Because I think it's necessary to look into it. I think you came into power on the issue of corruption. And you need to deliver. You need to deliver. If there was corruption, if 7.5 million euros and a trace of bogus receipts is with you, and if the Mauritius Attorney General gave it to the CBI in 2018, this is 2021 going to be 2022. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it?
Give me about 40 seconds to...
Yes, I give you more than a few seconds. Please. Yeah.
See, number one, I fail to understand why the Indian Air Force would be without these fighter planes for 10 full years. The entire negotiation started in 2007, and this negotiation would never end. Why? I think they were all trying to finalize the commission rate.
Arnab, is this the answer?
Let her complete now. Let her complete. Now come on, DK. Come on, DK. The problem with you is I don't understand. Whenever Aparajita speaks, you have to heckle.
10 full years, this is one number one.
No, this is not the first time, Aparajita. 1 minute. DK.
Please listen to me.
DK.
She does not speak to the point.
Why don't you let us speak?
Please listen to me.
You asked the question. She should answer the question.
You are full of sound and fury signifying nothing. You don't do your homework when you come to this debate.
You answer to the question.
For you,
He
are
has asked you a question. You answer his question. You don't ask her. He's asked you what.
Okay, 1 minute now. 1 minute. Let's focus. Let's focus.
Please
1
let
minute.
me complete. Please let me complete.
I get impatient.
And number two, between 2007 and 2012, false invoices have been raised, bribes have been given, almost to the tune of 65 crore. And this has been told not by an Indian media agency, but by a French media agency, Mediapart, which has actually created all this uproar. We are aware of that. So my point is, does Congress, which is staying in a glass house, have the authority to actually put question marks on others?
Okay, can
question the credibility of others?
Okay, 1 second. Aparajita, here's a question. Savio, I know I've kept you waiting. You and Patikrita are both waiting. I have a question today. Simple question. Do you, and there's a wonderful question actually, which is a response which has come in from one of our viewers. I have to share it. Should I open up republicworld.com? And I just want to tell you viewers, right now online on republicworld.com, I'd like to hear, go to the Arnab online section, give me your feedback. I'll read it out live on the program. Shrikant Kulka says, it seems that the BJP uses CBI, ED, IT not to book and punish the corrupt, but just to scare them. Is that true? Do you only want to scare people?
Not at all. These CBI and ED, they are all independent organizations. I think all of us, all Indians, should have respect for them. And as far as this particular case, Rafale deal is concerned, let me tell you that on 14th of December 2018, Supreme Court categorically stated that there was no problem and all these conditions were set aside.
No, Pankaj.
This is one part. And number two, the Comptroller and Auditor General also categorically stated that
Okay.
there
There
was
should be
no
some
high
point of
prices for
discussion.
Rafale.
You are asking
aircraft.
something, she is talking something.
So when Supreme
No, I'm
Court
still not getting an
and
answer. I'm still not
Comptroller
getting an
Auditor
answer.
General's office
What
have
is
both
missing?
given
What
the
is missing
clearance.
tonight?
Absolutely
What is
not.
missing tonight? And I agree to an extent with the professor. Is a sense of urgency in a national issue. Come on. I mean, listen, you said people didn't accept it, and the debate. If people didn't accept it, but if the
asked
corruption was
question
done
twice, and she has brought out the glass house metaphor.
True, you
My
have.
dear friend,
You asked the
please,
question
please
twice.
have the
She's not
content.
getting the
Please have the
question.
No,
content.
I am not.
Actually
I
getting
can't
the
fathom
content.
this.
Somebody else.
I can't fathom this. Indian officials, maybe Indian politicians,
Yeah.
took money and it was given on Dasalt's behalf. Are you trying to protect Dassault by not doing a serious investigation into the matter? I don't understand this. I don't think on a primetime television show we should be cajoling, pushing, pleading, requesting, investigating, asking, interrogating. Right? On why don't you act? What have you done? What have you done? The papers are with you. What have you done? And you are just, you don't seem very keen.
Yes, absolutely.
See, Supreme Court and Comptroller and Auditor General have given clean sheets or not? Yes or no?
No, but
And I'm sure we have tremendous
she's saying
respect
that
for the wisdom
You
of
have
the
got a
judges.
clean sheet, but somebody's been corrupt.
Arnab, forget about
Are you
it.
trying to
have
shield
no
the
case.
somebody?
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
at all. Now,
I mean,
here
she
is
is
the
giving a
question.
clean
Are
sheet
we
to everybody.
questioning the
That is
wisdom
my
of the
point,
Supreme
Arnab.
Court?
Why I
Are
react
we
when she speaks?
questioning
The debate hots up right now. 1 second. 1 second. Fuad is coming back on the debate. Fuad, Savio, Patikrit, come in. It's an open debate right now. This is all very confusing. Fuad. Fuad is coming in 1 minute. Fuad.
Very
You see,
confusing.
the Bharatiya Janata Party is very homely about corruption. And on this situation, the Bharatiya Janata Party spokespersons have to decide amongst themselves whether they are going to actually accept there has been corruption or there has been no corruption in terms of the Rafale deal.
She's responding.
And the second more important issue
She's
is
responding.
whether corruption is so important that the government of the day
and we know what the Supreme Court has
calls
said
for
and
a
what
concrete
the
investigation
CNAG
into
has
the matter, or it's just going to be in the media rooms. Is corruption going to be discussed on media platforms only? Is the government going to be proactive on
before
this
the
issue or
Congress?
No.
Congress, as has been told today by the party people,
The Congress cannot call for an investigation, madam. Madam, the Congress can't call for an investigation. As of today, how can you be blasé about corruption?
I don't believe this.
I don't know what the BJP is actually trying to say here.
We have talked of
Is
Supreme
the
Court
BJP
saying
trying
no
to
to
say
it.
that on
No
the
to any
Rafale
inquiry.
question,
They have given a
the
clean
Congress
sheet.
should come forward and arrange for an investigation? Madam, please clarify. Is the Congress in power or is the BJP in power
No,
today?
you believe the
Who is going to
documents.
call for the
I'm still not getting it. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Don't you believe the Supreme Court's judgment?
Aparajita, 1 minute. Aparajita, 1 minute. You obviously and evidently believe the documents. Savio, 1 minute. See, actually, I would say.
That the Bharatiya Janata Party stand
Okay,
today?
Fuad, Savio Rodriguez.
Who are your
God, 1
BJP?
second.
Savio.
Can I make a point?
Savio, making a point. Yes, please, Savio.
You know, Arnab, the point is very
Government has to
simple. Can I make a
today.
point?
What is the BJP
Now,
trying
if
to say?
BJP does not believe in the media part document, then why did they take a press conference about it?
Correct?
We are aware there is a corruption. The BJP
She's
spokesperson, who's a learned lady, knows that we are aware that this is corruption. You don't need to educate us on that. What we
It
are
was a
interested in
government
knowing
to government
is what is
deal.
BJP going to
In
do
fact,
about it. Are they
It was a
going
government
to
to
ask for
government
an
deal.
apology?
There was
like
no
they
bidding.
asked
So when
Sonia
there is no
Gandhi?
bidding, there is
Are you going to
absolutely
ask
no
for an
reason or
apology?
no
Or
room
are
for
you going to
corruption.
conduct an investigation?
In fact,
There is
all
a
of you should
corruption.
thank
You
Prime
are
Minister
aware of
Modi
it. Why are you
There was a negotiation
when
which
JP
was unending.
asked for an apology
And when our
from the
government
Congress
came, our
and
Prime
Mrs.
Minister
Gandhi,
came,
is that
he
what's
said
going
we
to
will
continue?
buy directly from the French government.
Is that what's going to
And
continue?
when there is a government
You
to
raise up
government
corruption
signing of the
issues,
deal,
you
I
don't
think there is
take it to the
absolutely no
logical
question of
conclusion,
any kind
and
of
you use it
bidding.
as
And if there is
political
no
gimmicks.
bidding, there is no question of
Why
any
are
kind
you
of
not
bribery.
taking it to a
In fact,
logical
all of you should
No, 1 minute. Aparajita, there should never be, I say, a feeling that corruption becomes an issue, misdeeds become an issue, illegalities become an issue which we use against each other. For example, if I know that Abhijit has carried out a heinous crime, not that he is capable of it, but suppose he's carried out a heinous crime, and suppose I use that information to go to Abhijit and tell him that I'm going to use this information, you stay in your place, never speak a word against me, never try to question me, right? Stay in your place, then I'm using that information as a lever. The information is with you. Are you using it as a lever? The question is, if it's with the agency, what is the agency doing? You know,
Can I make a point?
there's a very serious question which emerges here, and it's unfortunate. This question should be asked today of the Congress party, that how did $7.5 million euros get paid in your time? How is there documented evidence of a 40% commission? Who is the RG who is being referred to? The RG, initials RG, being referred to by Sushen Gupta. These are the questions which should be asked. Unfortunately, the entire issue becomes, so what are you doing? Which is an appropriate question at the same time, Pratikrit. Because unless the BJP answers that question and says, we have a time-bound solution to this matter, we intend to look into it, we're not going to push it till the 2024 elections. We're not going to turn around and say 10 years after we came to power on the issue of corruption that we'll sort of put corruption as not the most important issue in the country. It is. Corruption is as important an issue to debate as it was in 2014. Patikrit, yes.
Absolutely. Arnab, first of all, I strongly believe there should be investigation on Sushen Gupta and the deals the payments that happened in 2007 and 2012. And it is not just the Rafale controversy. There is another issue. The Dassault deal with UPA in 2011 for upgradation of 30-year-old Mirage 2000 that was done for 17,000 crore. A very expensive one. Now let me speak, Mr. Halim, please let me speak. The issue is, Arnab, I think the government is in a catch-22 situation. Can I speak, Mr. Halim? I was silent.
By limiting the investigation, why do you want to protect?
Can you please keep your mouth shut when I'm speaking?
All right, calm down. Tempers down.
Of a limited investigation.
Tempers down.
I think the government is in a catch-22 situation.
Tempers.
The catch-22 situation is this, that the moment you ask for an investigation, the clamor for blacklisting starts. And that's a problem in this country. We end up blacklisting all defense companies and we end up getting our operational preparedness are in jeopardy.
No. Then are you saying we should be flexible on issues of ethics? Are you saying 1 minute, Patikrit, I understand the practical consideration. I understand the practical consideration. I'm not an entirely impractical man. But are you trying to say that, listen? No. Yes, 1 minute. Are you trying to say, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is, listen, if we can't blacklist everyone, what you're trying to say is, listen, if Dassault has done a little bit of halka-fulka corruption and we managed to stop them before they did bhari corruption, a little bit of halka-fulka corruption is okay? That's what you're saying? Did Dassault do halka-fulka corruption? Did Dassault try to bribe Indian officials? Did Dassault pay kickbacks? They may have made a great plane. They may have made a great fighter jet. But I'm asking you, can you say hand to your heart, Patikrit, that there was no corruption ever done or attempted to be done by Dassault? Tell me.
Arnab, I did not say that. I said severely penalize them financially, but don't blacklist them. Severely penalize them.
Then why did you say there's a problem with blacklisting?
Because that's the problem with FinMechanica. We have been forced to de-blacklist FinMechanica because the black shark torpedoes that are to be used for Scorpion cannot be bought from FinMechanica because it was blacklisted. So I am saying severely penalize any foreign defense company.
No, 1 second. I'm not saying. Did I say Bofors is a bad gun? Did I say Bofors is a bad gun? But was there a Bofors scam? Yes. Abhijit is on the debate. No, Abhijit is on the debate. Something's not adding up.
Yes.
We have proof of bribery. We know. We want to know who the bribes were paid for.
I said severely penalize them, prosecute the people, but don't blacklist the company.
Abhijit is on the debate. What's going on?
Abhijit. Corruption.
In the UPA government, we know that all decisions taken.
Abhijit is making a comeback to the debate.
That seems to be a very serious
were either taken by that National Advisory Committee
to protect the government.
or they were taken by Rahul Gandhi. Okay, do you remember the time when he came on TV and tore up his own government's document humiliating his Prime Minister?
A very forgettable moment, but yes.
Yeah, so this is what used to happen in the UP. Now, if you understand, I mean, jokes aside, what is the real fear of the BJP going after Rahul and Sonia Gandhi? They don't want to do what the Janata Party did to Indira Gandhi, and then Indira Gandhi came back with a big majority based on the victim card, number one. Number two, the problem here is that
Pankaj is responding to this.
The corruption of the Congress is crystal clear. It has been hijacked by everybody else to suggest everything except Congress complicity in this. And this is the problem with the BJP, that they can never control the narrative, and they know they will never be able to control the narrative.
Pankaj, I want to hear from Pankaj. Pankaj, 1 minute. It's Pankaj's turn.
If bribes were paid during whichever period, there should be a probe. But I or you or any political party or any social cultural organization like RSS cannot order the probe. So why government is shying in ordering a probe? You remember Yashwant Sinha and Arun Shourie, very notable BJP leaders, handed over.
But there is a probe. Who told you there's a delay in a... No, there is a probe. The probe, what it has achieved, we don't know. Smita, there is a probe.
But what happened to the complaint by Yashwant Sinha and Arun Shourie to the then CBI Director Alok Verma on 4th of October?
What is the point you're making? Make it directly.
I want to make the point that what happened at the midnight on 23rd of October 2018 with CBI Director Alok Verma. Everybody has seen what was done with him by a Prime Minister-led committee. They dismissed him. So who is interested? If government is not interested in a probe, who will do it? Then political parties, Mr. Goswami demanded the JPC inquiry into the whole deal. Why government didn't agree for this?
Pankaj, when certain French publications, started talking about Rafale, you all got very excited. You said Chaukidar Chor hai. Okay. Now, when the same French publication has said that the bribes were paid in the Congress era, you are saying we don't want to talk about it. Why?
And this publication has said that the person, Sushen Gupta, was active in both the regimes. The journalist, Mr. Philippine, told you yesterday that he has no evidence that the money was paid to whom.
So you're saying, your argument is... One minute. Just 1 minute. Interesting. 1 minute. Just a minute.
Let there be a probe.
1 minute. Just a minute. As far as the financial trail is concerned, correct you. The financial trail is in the UPA government's period. The activity of the individual media part says extends into the NDA government's period. The 7.5 million euros trail is during the UPA period. Sushen Gupta is the same person who is being investigated by the ED for money laundering in the VVIP Augusta Westland scam, which is also UPA period. $12 billion deal, right? Okay, with the world's largest democracy.
And Sushen Gupta, Mr. Goswami, is the same person who
refers to RG,
who had a company in partnership with RB, Ranjan Bhattacharya. He is the same person.
Okay, suggestion B. Suggestion B.
You know it.
Suggestion B.
Suggestion is that these elements don't please associate them with any particular political party.
Okay, so suggestions.
You have no evidence. Nobody has any evidence.
Okay.
So these people who are arms dealers have been doing all sorts of things for so many years, for decades.
A minute, please.
So how can you reach to this
a minute. You do agree here. 1 minute. Smita, just 1 point. You do agree here. Bribes paid are between the period 2005 to 2012-13, which is entirely coterminous, right, with the period of the Congress government. What are you talking about? As a political journalist, you don't know who was in power at that point of time. Ranjan Bhattacharya was Prime Minister of India. What are you talking about? Who was in power? Was it 2004 to 2014? Who was in power? Now, come on, Mr. Pankaj. Pankaj, don't stretch it. The UPA government, in term of power, delayed the consummation of the Russia. No. Here. Okay, sir. Okay, so Indian Air Force, 1 minute. Indian Air Force is going through a terrible time at that time. Indian Air Force, Smita, desperately needs a revamp of its air power. Okay? Proof is, Congress government is delaying the consummation of the Rafale deal. Some bribes are being paid, 40% is being asked for. The Air Force is begging for multi-role combat aircraft. It would have helped India. Pakistan gets the F-16s, right? There's a doubtful induction of the Tejas LCAs. There is no induction of the Rafales. MiG-21s are aging. Pilots are dying in MiG-21 crashes. Right? And I think this is not dereliction of duty. This is much bigger. And the problem is, the moment I say this, people won't like it. Smita.
Yeah, exactly. See, what was happening? For 7 years, the Congress government played tender with the French. No aircraft. 19 years for the start of negotiations of the Rafale deal, and finally it arriving in the airbase. And that also not by the tender way, by an out-of-box method. Meanwhile, what happens? China keeps increasing their fleet. Pakistan is bestowed by the F-16s, and you have a two-front situation facing the country. And you have Mr. Antony as Defence Minister, Mr. Clean of the UPA, not buying anything, so terrified of the ghosts of the Bofors Pass that he vetoes, he cancels any proposed purchase. So when Rafales were inducted, it was the first induction of a full-fledged fighter aircraft in 20 years. Abhijit can tell you more. Our entire defence procurement is mired in red tapeism. And despite the Modi government making it a priority issue, making national security its strong point, in spite of that, what we are doing is we are purchasing on emergency. And these are also an emergency quota system because it is so cumbersome. And honest officers, they will not sign in because, you know, people like this, one portal somewhere, one scroll, one caravan, one Hindu, somebody will write an article and say that, oh, this bribe was taken, so there should be an inquiry. Then you will have a Yashwant Sinha, Arun Shori, who will start off, who will sit in Constitution Club and say inquiry. And then there will be blacklisting. I agree with you totally. Do an inquiry if there has been any kind of corruption. But a three-judge bench of the Supreme Court said that there was nothing wrong in the procurement process.
We need a spokesperson, Smita Prakash. You see, it is not so simple, Smita Prakash.
Please stop being
there was a negotiation for years. It was bypassed.
Counter her factually, not personally. Counter her factually, not personally. Second time in the debate, you've been personal. I say counter Smita factually, not personally. Counter Smita Prakash factually. Counter her factually. Counter her factually, not personally. Counter her factually, not personally. Please.
I only said simplistic. It is not a personal attack. I said only simplistic. She is giving a simplistic explanation.
You are the person who is simplistic. You don't even read up and come on the issue. You don't even do your research on the issue. Let me be personal right now. You might have a professor against your name, but you don't even read up and come for your classes.
And French government. That is your problem. Now she is being personal or no?
No, she's not being personal.
You are being a spokesperson.
She's not being personal. She countered you back. You don't like it.
Then what do you mean? You can get personal on all the women in the show.
I am not a spokesperson of BJP. You talk as a politician. You know, you talk as a BJP spokesperson.
Neither am I. Neither am I a spokesperson. So don't start pointing fingers for no reason.
inheritance.
You just find anybody in a sari in the show.
Let her have her opinion. Let her have her opinion. No, let her have her opinion.
Attitude.
No, 1 minute.
Sorry, your sexist attitude is very clear.
No. The problem is 1 minute. 1 minute. Don't ignore that, Smita. Problem is Savio. Problem is. Oh, 1 minute, Mr. Just wait a minute, please, DK. I didn't say it, Savio. Anthony said, who she referred to as Saint Anthony. He went to the Rajya Sabha and he said 482 MiG aircraft accidents till April 2012. I don't understand. And we keep saying, oh, Anthony was a very, very clean man, a great defense minister. Are Baba, does it not prick your conscience? That you are going in parliament and you are saying 171 pilots and 39 civilians have died in MiG crashes, and you are hell-bent not to let Rafale come in, and you want a 40% commission. And 8 years later, Savio, Fuad will not even ask questions. I don't know why. Just because you did a deal with the Congress, just because you are an ally of the Congress, just because, Savio, they have a political arrangement with the Congress party, just because they have fought elections together in Bengal. Okay, Savio, your turn.
Well,
at this point of time, I think
firstly, there's only one Saint Anthony.
Confused.
I don't think the Catholic Church is going to approve of another Saint Anthony. Forward 1 minute.
And at the same
Forward
time,
1 minute.
For an investigation.
Forward 1 minute. Can I please complete my point?
Issue. So let
the
me
most important
light,
aspect
what I think
is that there is a need for an investigation on the Rafale and the allegations leveled against the Congress of corruption. There is a need for an investigation for. That's what I'm saying. Allow me to complete.
Vikraman.
There is a need for an investigation. It is important for BJP to initiate that investigation. If there is a corruption alleged against Congress of 7.5 million euros, then it needs to be investigated. The facts must come out. Congress and corruption are synonymous.
To a lot
Congress
of
and corruption are synonymous. So it is not surprising that a corruption is involved in the Rafale. But an investigation must be completed so that the Congress and those involved are taken to task and put in jail. That's important.
Buckle up the
That's important. Therefore, BJP must have an investigation.
That the Bharatiya Janata Party,
Aparajita, once again. Aparajita.
Now, if you allow me to complete.
That are the arm of
Aparajita, one observation and I will truly give it over to you. See, Aparajita, today I began the program tonight by asking the BJP the question that how wonderful it is that you did a press conference today saying that Nawab Malik's family has deals with people who are associated with the Dawood Ibrahim, underworld group. But why was this not done earlier? How did you suddenly come upon it, right? Similarly, Aparajita, you will understand, everybody asks me every day, how did Parambir manage to go away? Was the NIA not supposed to be investigating him? How did he suddenly go away? He just evaporated, right? Now, third point is, how did all these papers that the Mauritian government gave you, which deep freezer have you put it in? Please put it in some thaw. We just want to make sure that corruption for you is not an issue to just scare the other side. You know, if you want to just, because the corrupt should not be scared, they should be punished. Do you agree with me, viewers? Yes, please. Aparajita.
Yes. Absolutely. See, we were with 3 MPs in the Lok Sabha in 1980s. We are with 303 MPs in the Lok Sabha. Why did I say this?
Why did you
say
that?
We have tremendous support from the Janta of the country. They know what we are doing. We are a transparent government. There would be absolutely no sparing of anybody who indulges in corruption.
Investigation.
This is for sure. Now let me tell you. Just a very simple solution to the whole thing.
Rafale deal. That's
very simple solution. On 14th of December 2018, Supreme Court has come up with a judgment. All of you are learned people. Please request Honorable Supreme Court to revise this judgment. Please also go to the CNAG and ask the CNAG to revise its opinion about the role of the BJP in the Rafale deal. But at the same time, I would ask everybody to pose questions before the Congress. What happened between 2007 and 2012?
We will pose questions.
Please go to the Supreme Court to revise
we will pose questions to the Congress for sure, but sometimes
wants to pose questions.
But the question,
the government of the day has become disabled. Its legs are broken. It does not even
of this country
walk
not
on
only want a
crutches.
clean
It doesn't
government
want
from
to look
the
at corruption
BJP
in the eye.
no, I will pose a question. What, with your permission, with your esteemed permission.
So the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to be very comfortable with corruption because it has already got evidence that something is out of context with the Rafale deal during its own tenure, which is why it is indulging in voter
judgment.
And
as simple as that.
lost
It's
the
a very
courage
simple solution
of
I'm offering.
conviction to fight corruption.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our responsibility to fight corruption together. Just don't let, please, Aparajita, before the Congress evaporates like Parambir Singh, please follow up on this and please find out what the agencies are doing about it. Viewers, it's been a great debate. Love the interaction with you today. Following up on everything and more. Remember, live coverage is only on Republic. Fastest live coverage through the day. Now, there's that hydrogen bomb that Nawab Malik plans to explode tomorrow.